slower month, and then I just had one purchase order. So all of Steuben County Fire Departments are kind of going together and buying a fit test machine. Angle is gonna house it, they're gonna maintain it. All we have to do is pay our little portion. It's $1,450.
What is it?
It's a fit test machine. It's something we should be doing annually, but we
For
don't.
CDA masks,
Yeah,
correct?
for our CDA
We
masks.
paid a ton of money when we did
You
it.
have to send them out and get them checked?
No, we had to pay somebody to come in.
Oh,
When I was the chief, we paid somebody to come in and they did the test and it was, we didn't do it as often as what we were supposed to
So is
because
this a yearly thing?
It's supposed to be, but we don't because it's so costly.
But like our fee, so we'll be paying the $1,000 yearly?
no, this is a one-time fee to purchase it.
Oh, okay.
is there gonna be an interlocal agreement for the use of it?
Yes.
I make a motion to go ahead and do the purchase.
I second that.
$1,450.
Sorry, I forgot how much it was.
I think it does.
That's coming out of what, equipment money or where does that come out of?
That one is coming out of their
Well, it's our
equipment.
fit test for air mask. That's all I have, unless there's any questions or comments. I do have an update on the ladder truck.
Yes, please.
I've been trying to get a hold of the guy and schedule a time to go up there. He keeps bumping it back a little bit, so hopefully this Friday,
That
Like
you'll
the
go,
go look at it.
Oh.
but you don't really have any updates on progress.
I
Fair enough.
texted him yesterday and they both and no answers.
Does he have like a shop or is it like out of the house?
So one of my other guys, he went up there for a family get together and he tried to swing by where we think his office is and he found the old truck, but nothing new. We don't know if it's inside, what.
For sure.
On our old truck, but
Yeah.
they took on trade.
Yeah, we probably should have kept that maybe until we got that.
Well, that was part of the agreement to get the payment made, right?
Right.
But, okay, we're gonna have to make a,
I think it's a price cap up there.
yeah, we're gonna have to make this Don issue if we don't have a resolution by next meeting.
I'll keep you guys informed if I do go up there.
Please do, yeah, please let me know. Anything else for Dave? Police department.
The only thing I have, I'd like to ask about purchasing a car. We've talked about it in a couple meetings, and, we're at the point now where we basically have two meetings left and a year-end meeting. And, I don't have prices, but we might as well figure on it's gonna be like $55,000 for a car. But it's something that we need to make happen. But I don't know, I mean, like I said, I brought it up before and we say that we're gonna try to check into it, but then I don't know where we're at with it, so.
How many do we have right now?
Cars?
Yeah.
We have 5. But the 2 that we got from Hudson, those were never intended, that Hudson bought us, those were never intended to be full-time cars put into service. They're pool cars. And if a car goes down, you can jump in and use it temporarily. Or if a reserve or somebody works, they can jump in it. But if we don't stay on a regular cycle of purchasing cars, we're driving cars with too many miles on them and we're putting too much money into them to keep them on the road.
I mean, if, as long as we have the money, I'm okay with that. I don't know what that looks like.
Peggy, any input?
I will not know until probably late November, beginning of December, because of budget. Because DLGF had called and it's not approved or nothing, but the way it's stating right now, which you guys will see it in the next meeting, we were hoping for 100 and, what's it? On the old one. Okay, this is, here's the one. it was 163 million is what we were hoping for.
You're talking assessed value, right?
Yeah, assessed value, and that would have been at. Anyways, by the time they got done, and when she called me, it went from adopted tax rate was 0.61. That was prior to her calling me. When she called me, they dropped it from 163 million down to 113. Because she goes, I'm not for sure if it's because of an abatement or what, she wasn't for sure, but she was gonna get back with me. But she did send me the adopted tax rate went from 0.61 to 0.73. So it went up.
Our tax rate went up.
Yeah.
But if our assessed value drops significantly, it may or may not have.
Right, and I calculated it, we would probably be losing about $48 million.
In assessed value.
Yes. So nothing is set in stone just yet. I will find out more when she lets me
So-
know.
Like Scott has mentioned in the past, we've always kind of used 2 years worth of equipment monies, which is probably, but there's always been enough money. Like we've always figured it out. So how have we figured it out in the past? What have we done in the past? And which of these funds have we pulled money from to make this happen?
Okay, revenues.
Yeah, cause 10 years ago, you could buy a car for 21, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that. That's.
I know, Mike, when we was on the account, we weren't spending near that much on cars.
No, I get it. I totally get it. But like you're saying, we can like.
When was the last time you guys bought a car?
23.
23?
I mean, we gotta get the numbers around, but I agree with Scott that we gotta stop just pushing it off because it's only gonna make things worse. But we also need to figure out where we're gonna fund this from.
Right, so I'm gonna go back to 2023 and see if I can find where they purchased the last one and find out where she took it from.
Okay.
And how she did it, so that way I can figure out, okay, looking in my revenue, how much are we gonna have?
And if you two can work together
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
next
that's not a
30
problem.
days and let's bring some solid.
I'm hoping in
Yeah.
30 days, because like I said, right now,
But-
State Board of Accounts has got me going.
No, I get it. But you've got some equipment money left over for this year, Scott, or?
I've been saving like you wouldn't believe.
Okay, so, so there's some money there that we would like to capture for this before the end of the year.
And honestly, in years past, when the council said, okay, yes, we need to get you a new car, I already knew that it was like half of it came out of 1 year, half came out of the next year. We ordered it in like November, it came in January, it was on the road by March. And if we were ever short money, Karen always just said, I'll get it for you, don't worry about it. Where she got it, I don't know.
Right.
That's where I wanna find
Yeah,
out.
I don't know.
I mean, when I'm looking at this, I like, depending on what we're allowed to take and what we're not allowed to take, there may be some options, but, that's not my expertise.
Let me,
Alright, let's keep on that.
let me
Let's-
look upstairs.
Okay, let's
I
keep on
mean,
that.
I guess I'll go and get some good quotes on
Yes.
cars, so we should at least know that number.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're gonna have the cost of having it upfitted too, so. The last one we did was like $14,000. I bet you that's gone way up too. But, I mean, that's not in our control, it's like everything else, like going
Like
to
probably at
Walmart.
least 70,000,
What's that?
at least 70,000.
No, last year when I got a quote for a Durango, it was 43,000 just for the car.
Okay.
So when I said 55,000, I'm throwing in the outfitting on
Okay.
top of
Okay.
that.
That makes me feel
But it
better.
may be more than that, it may
Yeah.
be like 60,000, it's just ridiculous, but every year we go without buying a car, then every vehicle we have gets 1 year older,
Yes.
and that makes the oldest one we have in our fleet really old.
Oh, I hear you. Okay, let's get this pinned down and come back to the next meeting. So,
Other than that, I don't have anything.
anything else for Scott?
Hmm, good.
I don't have anything.
building and parks.
Parts, I took those 5 buckets, 5 gallon buckets off the recycle waste management and got rid of them.
Okay.
So they're gone.
Well, they end up charging us for that.
Yeah, they said they would send the bill. I don't know if they sent one or
Yeah,
not.
they did,
Okay.
and we paid it.
So that's
It was
fine.
minimal.
Okay, minimal, okay.
Then buildings, we had one of the air handlers had to tighten the belt on, you lift the boiler up, it's getting pretty chilly in here. And some of the seams on the gutters on the building starting to leak, so I just patched some of them. Especially the ones that's leaking from the doors or on the gas meter and stuff. All I got.
In streets, they've got the leaf back service, still trying to figure out what breaks more than what, but. They're coming to the trailer, trailer lights in it, box of brakes, I think we got it all figured out.
Okay.
Had all the road cuts repaired from water main breaks. Talked to Todd Friday. Brooks, don't know if they're gonna be able to get the chip and seal because of the cool weather, so it may be spring before they get to it. If the weather cooperates, they'll still try to get it done this year.
On that, can we pull the road closed signs on camera?
Yeah, they're
before?
supposed to pull them once a week.
Okay, I had a
Yeah.
contact, wanted to know why at 23 and 4
Yeah.
was closed because of an Angle Drive project, so.
So they're supposed to pull them this week, so I said something to Todd Friday about that.
Okay.
I get complaints too.
Yeah.
We're working on submitting the 2026 CCMG. We have some documents that need to be signed in the regular meeting, commitment of finances and resolution, getting your signing authority, kind of like on the SRF, that's a new requirement. So.
Okay, I did see those, so.
Wastewater, we had to repair the WAS meter, that was pretty simple, we just had to relocate the heads on there and put some ultrasonic gel on them. So that's all done. Also have a PO for wastewater. It's time to order our TNT testing stuff again. I'm not gonna run down the whole list, but for our testing supplies, it's $1,362.39.
I make a motion for $1,362.39.
I'll second that.
Correct.
In zoning, had 2 certificate occupancies issued this month and 1 ILP issued. And that's about all I've got.
I don't have anything.
What's the plan for picking up that brush on State Street?
Well, we just got the truck back, because we are having issues with it, so hopefully we can take our new Bobcat out. That's the other thing, Bobcat came in today about 2 o'clock, so
Nice.
we'll take it down and get the grapper on there.
Okay.
Yeah, they put it out like 2 days after we picked up brush.
Yeah, I know, but it'd be nice to get it out of there before the leaves start coming down.
Right.
Appreciate that.
What you were asking for northeast solid waste was 176.40.
Oh man, a little more than I thought. Okay. Yeah. Anything else for Dave or Jim? Utility.
No, so this month pumped, last month we pumped 7,440,500 gallons. Daily use was 248,000. I think some of that was wasted water for trying to keep that chlorine up at the other side. And I think we got that under control now. We're keeping steady levels out there, so I think we found a sweet spot on that, so that's good. McAllister came, maintenance on the generators, the water plant, sewer plant, and H.L. Thompson fire pump. We flushed the hydrants on the 8th and the 9th of this month. Cleaned the reservoir at the plant today. I had to send out the chlorine vacuum switch from fire reservoir, it was leaking. It was about $2,000 to buy a new one. We sent it out to get fixed, about $800. And we got a new key for the utility water truck because I locked the doors and
You only have one key.
we found out the town only had one key. So that purchase was made, and I'm sorry about that.
Probably worse things in life.
So now we have 2 extra keys?
No, we have 2 keys total.
Just don't leave the extra
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
cup
we don't
holder.
even have the extra.
I'm not allowed to touch that.
I have a lockout kit if it happens again, call me.
Okay.
We did, we called Shane and he couldn't get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you called me, I'd have gone.
That's okay, Mike got it.
Then we'd be buying a new window.
Okay.
I have a Slim Jim at home, I can get into anything.
Clerk.
Nothing.
Alright, let's,
Make a motion, we adjourn the department head meeting.
I second that.
okay, so we got a few minutes.
I forgot to forward.
I put mine over here. Town council meeting to order. Please rise and pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes to be approved as distributed.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as distributed.
I second that.
And I will concur.
Sorry.
Approval of financial and bank reconciliation reports. Sorry if I get too far ahead there, but
I make a motion for the approval of the financial and bank reconciliation reports.
I second that.
I will concur.
I saw that, we were looking at doing too. That would have been one I would have missed.
Approval of accounts payable register.
I make a motion for the approval of the accounts payable register.
I second that.
I will concur. Ordinance and resolutions. Approval for 11-2025 ordinance for the resolution for the year 26, tax rates adoption. Appropriation and tax rates.
I put the old one with the new one, so that way you guys can see.
So is it the same as the old one?
Shouldn't be.
These are just copies of the same thing.
63. Okay, what's the tax, adopted tax rate on the very first page? It's either 0.7 or 0.6.
0.73.
That's the new one. The old one is right behind, or second page. Not re-signed, that one should be 0.61. That's the old one.
So this is just.
Okay, it just has the exact same date of adoption.
Right.
10/14/25.
Right, we don't have to worry about it, I'm just letting you know,
Okay.
that's the change.
Okay,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay,
because I got it from DLGF.
I make a motion for the approval for the 11-2025 ordinance resolution for the year 2026 tax rates for adoption.
I second that.
And that will
This has to be passed by, when finalized,
Finalized, I think next month,
so the October 20th meeting, or the, we could,
28th.
28th, we can finish it up, I keep getting confused.
Yeah, because I'm supposed to get another phone call from her, after I send that to her.
Okay,
So we wait to sign this still after?
No, you have to sign it tonight.
so they have to pass it tonight, which means you have to suspend the rules. And
Okay.
pass on second
Oh.
reading.
That's the way he did.
You have to suspend the rules first, and then, if you wish to suspend the rules, and then pass on second reading. If you
Yeah, I
wish
know.
to.
It's a
So to
six.
suspend the rules, we need a motion to suspend the rules?
You have a motion since, and it has to be unanimous, just so you know.
That's what I have. Is that meeting at 6 on the 28th? Yeah. Okay, that's okay. I could have it wrong. I just showed him my calendar. She's like,
Can we get a motion to suspend the rules?
I make a motion to suspend the rules for second reading.
I second that.
And I will concur. So, ordinance for appropriation of tax rates on second reading. Motion?
This is B.
This would be for the second reading. No, this is the
Same
same thing. We need to do a
I
second.
I make a motion for the, second reading of ordinance 11-2025, ordinance resolution for the year 2026 tax rate for adoption.
I second that.
And I will concur.
I'll try to pay attention better.
I sidetracked you.
Make sure you mark your vote.
Mr. Chairman, I'd suggest that before we pass B, that we do the 1, 2, 3, and 4 that DLZ is presenting.
Okay.
You can do the whole thing that DLZ is presenting, there are two separate issues, but,
Okay.
better to accept the bids before we pass the rate ordinance.
So, okay, all right, so we'll skip that. Let's move on to C. We'll come back to B and then we'll do these, so.
Okay, good.
That's all right. Let's, do the approval of resolution 12-2025 for the Ashley Town Council concerning authorization for execution of NDOT agreement. Resolution of the Town Council of Ashley concerning authorization for execution of NDOT agreements.
Is this giving you permission, Jim?
It's given Mike a permission to sign
Oh, okay.
documents for CCMG.
Okay.
Did I get that out of order a little bit on the?
You can do that one.
That's fine.
Yeah, there's a copy of that in each of everybody's packet too.
Okay. So I kind of jumped up to the.
I make a motion for the approval for resolution 12-2025.
Sorry. Guess I should have.
Resolution of Ashley Town Council of Ashley, Indiana concerning authorization for execution of NDOT agreement.
I second that.
And I will concur. All right, let's jump to the back to that wastewater portion and then,
You wanna make your presentation first?
Sure, I can do that.
okay. Case of orders.
All right. So, I think everyone, if you go to the stapled packet, it includes this fold-out 11x17. And then on the back, I'm not the rate consultant, it's just a copy of a one-sheet document that we may make some references to. There one in the back. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There should be, yeah, that, okay. So let's start with the summary of the bids. That's this sheet here, it's the larger sheet, 11x17. So let's start with the big sheet first. So in summary, we accepted bids for the wastewater treatment plant, or opened the bids, we didn't accept them yet. We opened the bids on October 7th. We had actually 5 plan holders and we had 3 contractors bid on it. So when you look at this sheet, this is a document that kind of summarizes all of the information we had to look at as part of their bids. Not only the number, the top part tells you the cost, the lowest bidder. The bottom part kind of tells you if they're responsive or responsible, okay? So the good part is we had 3 bidders. We've worked with all 3 of these contractors, okay? So in all 3 of these contractors, we are totally comfortable recommending that, you know, they've done work and can do the work that's, that they bid on. If you look at this, that first number, the red number, was the base bid number. If you look off to the right, our estimate was a little over 9 million, 9.1 million, I'm gonna round numbers here. The base bid, as you can see, we had 3 different numbers. The low bidder on the base bid was Ari Crosby, but our Yoder was just 5,000 more, so we had really tight bids. But we also told the bidders in the documents the town reserves the right to award it based on the base bid and any combination of the alternates, okay? The base bid included the major component of the project, the headworks, the EQ facility, some of the items that was designed back in 2000, and some of the items that helps you address these ongoing IDM compliance we have, okay? There's several alternates there. Again, I don't want to speak for the entire group, but what I have there are the ones in red that first and foremost, I think Jim agrees that balancing cost versus need would be a very high priority to award. And if you look at those real quick, the first one, alternate 2, that is the ferric tanks and chemical pumps. That's important because for that price, we're moving all of those chemicals outside because it's eating up all the equipment in the building. So that's a fairly small number that we would like to include in the project. If you go down to alternate 7, that's the prefabricated waste pump building. That's another item that Jim's dealing with right now. There's a problem with the pumps. We had hoses out there earlier this year. IDEM's asked about it, so that one really does need to be done. That's not a want, that's a need. And then the storm sewer, if you go out there, though, there's a large hole in the ground that we got to replace a storm sewer. So those 3 items, even though the rest of them would really help your efficiency, they would help operations. They're needs, but they're not as high as the base bid and the items in red that I just mentioned. And I think that's important for us to be in agreement on that, but more importantly for you to know that because Hudson's going to ask that. So that's the thing to keep in mind, which is a fair question. If you look at that, so if you look at those in the item in red, the total base bid and all the alternates, when you look at that, I always hate this when that determines the low bidder, but as you can see, our Yoder with those combinations is the low bidder, a little over 8.5 million. Still below the engineer's estimate, and the numbers are really close together, which means that they didn't, the bids were good. They looked at the plans, they were comfortable with that. Everything down below we've looked at. Jackson's number, all their stuff was good. Our Yoder stuff was good. Crosby didn't submit an E-Verify and drug policy. If they were low bid by a lot, I probably could have got that from them. They just didn't submit that, so they weren't quite as responsive as the other 2. So with that, the next item for you to consider would be if you go to that front email that I sent, kind of list the motions that you need to consider. Okay. Now, the thing to keep in mind with all these motions, you're just basically with that first motion. If you look at this email, yep, the email I got, it kind of has. Yep, there we go. Perfect. This one right here, Micah.
Okay.
Yep. So if you look at that lists what I'm recommending you do here tonight. The first motion is you accept the bids for the wastewater treatment plant improvements as received and opened on October 7th.
This will require a motion, a second, and then you're gonna have to vote, can't just concur, you're gonna have to vote.
Okay.
And announce the vote as 3 to none, or 2 to 1, or
Okay.
1 to 2, whatever it is.
Concurrent with that, you're just accepting them. And then the second motion is you accept the certified bid tab for the wastewater treatment plant as provided by DLZ. So you're basically accepting in the record, in our recommendation on our evaluation. And then motion number 3, based on that certified bid tab, approve the preliminary award of the base bid alternates 2, 7, and 8 to R. Yoder for plus or minus 8.5 million. With that being said, you can't officially award the project or sign the contracts until we close and get the money with that SRF. What this document does, if you go to the second page, it basically just lets everybody know what your intentions are. Because these contractors are going to say, hey, what are you guys doing? Who's awarding the project? So if you look at this document, and I would defer to Don if he is, if he wants to review this or wait, we can. But basically this says that you've been notified, R. Yoder, we've accepted the bids, and you've been determined to be the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder for the wastewater plant, including the base bid and the alternates. But the note says this is only a preliminary award, not a final award. This approval and the approval and execution of the final award owner agreement is contingent of SRF concurrence, contingent of closing an SRF. This just lets everybody know, more importantly, SRF, the contractors, if this all goes through, R. Yoder would be the contractor, okay? So that is motion number 3, approving the preliminary award. And then the final motion would be approving of the post-bid submittal items to SRF. So we basically got to take all this information and email, which like 40 documents, we got emailed to SRF, and they go through everything to make sure everything's okay. With that, what does that mean? I think, so, and again, Buzz, he sent this, I think, to some of the group, and he just asked me to hit some of the high points, so I want to make sure everybody's okay with that. And Don, I know you probably, did you get that last sheet? Okay. So, if you look at this sheet, basically, with this, you can see these are reminders Buzz wanted to make sure everybody was aware of. But if you look at the Section A numbers, that's the 10.9 for your contract. The construction, our engineering for design, bidding, construction management, inspection, cost to issue the bonds was roughly 10.9 million, okay? But then he's worked with, I think, USDA and SRF. They're gonna repackage some of your old loan. So the total is like 12.5 million because it got your rates now a little bit less. The other thing we found out last week is we got the grant amount. Buzz called them, we talked about it. They got the grant amount increased from $1.5 million to $3 million, which is good. That's really unforeseen because you weren't in the fundable range. You basically talked them into it. The other part is important is whenever we're asked as a group, we basically just included the base bid and 3 alternates that added about $800 to $1 million on it that were needs. And then he has an estimated rate there that what could be the impact of this going forward to the town of Ashley. So with that, there's 4 motions from me, motions 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can simply read and approve. All that does is let everybody know who the lowest, most responsible bidders are and allows me to submit it to SRF. More importantly, some of the other stuff, you need to make sure you're aware of what the ramifications are. So with that, I'll defer to Don or address any questions before or after you consider making those 4 motions.
I just have a quick question on alternate 8, the storm pipe. Are they just replacing the bad section in that, or are they replacing that?
They're just replacing the bad section. Yeah. But it's was it a 36-inch diameter pipe?
I think that's 42.
42. So it's deep. It's between 2 concrete beds. So that's why that cost is what it is. Okay. We had a cost in there also not to replace the rest of it because it's under the drying beds, but to line it. But we didn't include that in the award. What I will say, the other thing that's important for everybody to understand, when you do this, SRF requires you to put, I don't know if Buzz has it in here. Yes. If you notice up at the top, on the right, there's a contingency number of $685,000. SRF requires you to put a contingency in that bond amount because they want that contingency amount enough as if unforeseen things happen, You don't have to go back. I mean, we could make it real small. The problem is if you go over your amount, you gotta go back through closing just to get $200,000. So they wanna make sure that number is large enough that you don't have that. Whatever you don't use at the end, we can use it as part of the project, or we can do another project. So that's the short version of a long story. Any other questions? Going forward, you have the bond ordinance, you got the rates, we got the ongoing stuff with Hudson. But right now, you're probably looking at pre-closing in the end of October to November range. Hopefully we close in November and December. We can only hold the bids for 90 days, starting construction early next year. And you're looking at 20 to 24 months of construction, just these type of projects.
Okay. I don't think we have any choice. I think we, so let's start with the motion number one, to accept the bids for wastewater treatment plant. Can I get a motion for that?
I make a motion to accept the bid for wastewater treatment plant improvements as received and opened on October 7th, 2025.
I second that.
And since we need to do a vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Record shows 3-0. Motion number two. Motion on.
I make a motion to accept the certified bid tabulation for the wastewater treatment plant improvements as prepared by DLZ.
I second that.
Okay, with the motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The record show that carries 3-0. Motion number three.
I make a motion to approve the preliminary award of the base bid and alternatives 2, 7, and 8 to All Yoder Construction for $8,522,833.
I second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Record show 3-0. Motion 4.
I make a motion to approve for post-bid submittal items to be sent to SRF.
I second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Record show 3-0.
And could we have a motion to, I guess we've kind of done it, but if we could have a separate motion to have Micah sign the notice of award, preliminary award to our Yoder Construction.
I make a motion to have Micah sign the preliminary award to our Yoder Construction.
I second that.
And all favors?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry. Opposed?
You wanna take this with you, or do you want us to send it?
Which ballot?
Yes.
Oh, I got an extra copy. Mike can sign either now or from their meeting.
Let's get her done now, so don't,
Forget.
you have to attest, maybe.
Wish I had that one, I didn't get out.
We had that.
Maybe you can let him do his other street stuff, so
Okay.
he probably wants to, he's got to drive ahead of him, so he'd like to get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. Apologize, I lost my agenda.
It's
Okay,
the,
so,
1, 2, and 3
okay, we already did.
down here, so we're up here.
Okay. So, go ahead, Casey, what do you have for?
Okay, for the community crossing, and
Yes.
again, Jim, feel free to jump in. Again, you already approved the resolution, but if you go to the next couple sheets, as a reminder, the SRF program, or not the SRF program, the community crossing program, that you could apply twice a year, July and January. the funding for communities, towns has it's really been reduced. Most of the money's going to Marion County. So it's gonna be very competitive, but you can still get $1 million and you can apply in October. So what you have here is, working with Jim, a possible application that would include Gonzer, Grand, and Garrison, the map there. With that being said, if you look at that last sheet, basically, the cost estimate on that, or what we're applying for is a better word, is a construction cost of 1.28 million, and with the town committing 280,000, so it's basically 20%.
And we have 300,000 budgeted for next year for match, so.
So if and the timeline on this is a little bit quicker, so we'd be starting the survey in November. But if you look at those first two motions, you don't need to do the third one, I don't think, or you can. You've already approved the resolution. But, the first one, you basically approve the application, and then the second one, you just a motion to approve the signing of the financial commitment letter. Again, it's on the motions, I think if you read them on that first, or on this sheet. Jim, you want to give a quick summary on what we're doing, all three of those roads?
Okay, for Gonzer, this basically had to include that because we wasn't gonna do it this year, but I figured if we do get it, now's a good time to do it. So it's gonna basically be chip and seal like we're doing on Angle Drive.
Okay.
In mind to redo all the reconstruct, and it's not horrible. Grand is replacing the sidewalk. We already did that up to South Grand. So we repave all that, reconstruct, new sidewalk down there, and then storm drain and road on your road, Bob, on Garrison there from State Road 4 down, and some sidewalk on there. Not sure about the second block, first block, but that will probably do.
Is there a way to, cause I was thinking, like, I feel like so pretty much from here, cause like here's Chapel Lane, right? So from here to here, we have no sidewalk.
Well,
Is that on?
that'll probably be the next project.
Okay.
It's just kind of trying to work down, and, cause that would be, we would be able to do these two if we did this.
Okay.
Cause
Just
that's a
curious.
lot of sidewalk.
Okay. So that could potentially be our next
Yeah.
round, okay. So like 2027?
Tentatively, yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I, make a motion to approve in October 2025 CCMG application roads to include Garrison Avenue, Green Avenue, and Gonzer.
I second that.
And Auburn Curve.
And then we need a second one too. I make a motion to approve signing of CCMG financial commitment letter of 280,000 of local money for a 1.28 million total construction project.
I second that.
And Auburn Curve.
Do you want me to make a motion for the third one too? Cause that's all. I don't know if that's what we did before or not.
Go ahead.
Okay, I make a motion to approve Council President Michael Ivey to sign all applicable CCMG documents.
I second that.
Auburn Curve.
Or we can have him sign that one, I got a red number on it. Yeah.
You were gonna say that, that,
Yeah. That would be okay.
that's not the same address. And then I'll make a copy.
That's fine. Or you can send me.
You can just scan it to you.
Yeah, just email it to me along.
Okay, jump back up to the rates ordinance, correct? Approval for ordinance 4-2025, amending rates and charges for the use of and services rendered by the sewage works of the town of Ashley.
Make a motion for the approval for ordinance 4-2025, amending rates and charges for the use of and services rendered by the sewage works of the town of Ashley, Indiana.
I second that.
This isn't the bond ordinance.
I don't know, that's what Jim gave me today.
Well, as I look at the instructions from,
Should have been the rate ordinance.
can't do the rate ordinance yet, you got a hearing coming up. So,
I think the bond ordinance is what
you can, you need to adopt the bond ordinance.
Okay, well, I
Scratch it.
scratch everything that I just said, just take it out of here.
We'll show that with the drawing, so. Did you get the bond ordinance from, bond council?
Lawrence Thornburg, Kimberly. You need to introduce the rates tonight, right, Don?
Right.
But not adopt it.
Yeah, I just, I only received the rate ordinance also.
I did not receive it. This is all I got.
We could have a motion to introduce the rate ordinance.
I make a motion to introduce the rate ordinance.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Is the bond ordinance, we're supposed to introduce, but I don't have the bond ordinance. I just got the rate ordinance.
That's why I emailed, he said whatever we need, just send.
Right, and I didn't get it.
Well, you probably didn't get it either, because I didn't, so. I'll check everything I got here, but I went through everything before I came.
Yeah, they sent the notice of public hearing, did you get that? Be published on 10/17?
Yes, I already did all that.
Okay.
Yep, that's completed. I think I sent you an email that, where it was posted.
Yeah, 'cause it says we should have introduced the rate ordinance and adopted bond ordinance.
Correct. I even questioned that, introducing the bond ordinance, because are we there yet? We can introduce the bond ordinance.
Yeah, don't you typically introduce that first and just make sure it's higher
Right.
than what the final project
Yeah.
was?
But I've not seen a bond ordinance. I know what bond ordinances look like, and I haven't seen it. Yeah.
They're usually pretty thick. Yeah, I don't see it, there's an updated timetable or,
Right, that's last I see.
well, on that timetable, did it say?
Yeah, it says it's supposed to be adopted tonight.
Introduce the rate ordinance and adopt them.
And those specific instructions that it had to be adopted tonight, we had to suspend the rules and adopt it on second reading tonight.
Right, because we were supposed to adopt it and then it's supposed to publication and notice. Well, that's the rate thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's the rate ordinances for that hearing, but they wanted she wanted the ordinance. Let me see what you got there.
was sent by Brandon. Sewer rate ordinance 2025, it was sent on Monday at 4:18.
I think we got it here.
Oh, she must have sent it to us and then Brandon.
Brandon sent it on to us.
Here's the bond ordinance.
There you go.
Got so much.
So, I'll get to the. This is got a lot of other stuff here too.
Well, it looks like there should be the revised rate ordinance draft.
There we go. Ordinance number 2005-06. Well, that's the old ordinance. I think that's all Buzz's certifications to get to the bond ordinance. There you go.
Brittany, you wanna read this for us?
I'll pass.
It's the bond ordinance now.
Yeah, your rules permit you to rule by title only, so.
And this ordinance number will be, is this
5.
number 5?
Yep.
Dash 2025?
Yep.
Ordinance 5-2025, an ordinance concerning the construction of additions, improvements, and extensions of sewage works of the town of Ashley, the issuance of revenue bonds to provide for the cost thereof, and collection, segregation, and distribution of revenues of said works, the safeguarding of interest with the owners of the said revenue bonds, other matters connected therewith, including the issuance of notes in anticipation of bonds, and repealing ordinance inconsistent herewith.
Is that the title?
That's the title.
Now we say that.
I won't be able to, I'll have to read it.
What he said.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 5-2025, an ordinance concerning the construction of additions, improvements, and extensions to the sewage works of the town of Ashley, Indiana, the issuance of revenue bonds to provide for the cost thereof, the collection, segregation and distribution of the revenues of said works, the safeguarding of interests of the owners in said revenue bonds, other matters connected therewith, including the issuance of notes and anticipation of bonds, and repealing ordinances inconsistent herewith.
I second that.
And I will concur.
Okay, good, let's go ahead and a voice vote on that, and then.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So vote 3-0.
We need a motion to suspend the rules.
I make a motion to suspend the rules.
I second that.
I will concur. We need a voice vote.
Pretty close.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
And then we need to pass it on second, you need to pass on second reading
Today?
today. That's what the instructions say.
Yes.
Can I say that I can make a motion to pass that instead of reading?
Ordinance
all of it?
number
5-2025.
I make a motion to accept the second reading of ordinance 5-2025.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
now.
There's a signature page in there. Yeah, I think I did see it.
Page 53. never seen one, you wouldn't know what you were looking for.
I have no idea, I just brought everything.
Yeah, well, you did, that's good, we got it done.
I don't know
Had me a little nervous there for a minute. You're gonna be coming back to another meeting. So then, do we in fact need to introduce the rate ordinance? That was on this timetable as well.
You did introduce it, you already did, I think
Okay.
the motion was made to introduce the rate ordinance.
Mhm.
But you have a public hearing and then, so you can post the ordinance and give the notice.
Okay. Fair enough. Send that back to Don. So it doesn't get mixed up.
And I'm gonna put it with the things that came with it. Cause we got a bunch of stuff from Buzz, and it's important to keep it together because it has to do with the combining of the refinancing of the 2005 ordinance, so.
So is there any gonna make a copy of that?
Oh, yeah, make all the, you get to keep it.
Oh, I get to keep it?
No.
I thought you were gonna keep it.
No, I think they wanna send it on, I think you'll probably wanna send it to, can't think of her name, but
Kimberly.
Kimberly?
Kimberly,
Okay.
Kimberly, Buzz, and Brandy.
yeah, make sure that they receive a copy. And then the transcript of the meeting or the copy of the minutes, just see if you can ask them. Oh, that's your stuff.
Yeah, that's, yeah, that's Peggy's, I don't know, that was confused.
So you don't need any more of this? You don't need any more of this?
No, I think you're good to go.
Okay. Wow, that was, so moving on to new business. Check off the wastewater plant information from the LZ, I think we've covered all that.
Yep.
Do you have any more for us?
I don't have.
Casey, you're welcome to stay, of course, but, I just wanna make sure we had,
Yeah, I got everything I need.
Okay, perfect.
I may excuse myself.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be careful.
Yep, thanks.
Information on, water plant or water department operator.
We haven't gotten any walk-in applications?
No.
So the process for setting interviews would be, an executive meeting.
You can do them in an executive session. You have to give 2 days' notice to the press, 2 business days' notice. And,
Are we permitted to do some phone interviews individually to weed this down, or is that not advised?
you can do phone interviews, it's not uncommon.
Mike, I think that'd be wise, cause several of those guys are from quite a ways out of the area. I mean, we only have the one that's reasonably local.
Just do an initial phone interview and then
Go from there.
go from there.
I would trust your decision on where you wanna go.
Okay. Yeah, I can work on that, this week, so. And then, I guess if we need to set a meeting, we can always set that meeting, or, we probably have enough on the night of the 28th that we don't wanna add anything into that meeting. Okay, so, well, do we need a motion for phone interviews, or we just, probably don't need that, do we?
No,
Okay, I'll just leave that out, so.
Understanding, that's what you're after.
Approval for clerk treasurer to allow money dispersed under IC code 51110.
That requires me to prepare an ordinance.
Great. There you go. There's
If you
that.
want me to prepare an ordinance, so that she can,
I got a copy.
Yeah, they have
so,
that.
it's basically to do the stuff that, routine stuff. I've done it for other towns and cities, counties, whatever.
It sounds like the state board of accounts is asking for this for Peggy to have, so. I think, yeah, let's draft the ordinance, and we'll work that through.
So we can't do anything until the ordinance, right?
Right. Discussion on a rate for renting rooms in the community center. My question is, are we having a lot of requests for this?
Well, State Board of Accounts one of the ladies, the higher up ladies, Ivy Tech is actually booting them out at Fort Wayne. They would like to rent a room.
Who's this again, I'm sorry?
Ivy Tech, it's
Okay.
State Board of Accounts is renting a
Oh.
room from them.
Okay, okay.
So they were wanting to either A, rent a room from us, and how much, and I told her I would have to find out. I can't give her a price, cause I don't know.
I know we used to have one, that was before Lighthouse came in here, I don't know what those rates are.
What do we charge Steuben Township?
$100 a month.
For this, and that's just once a month. So they'll be there continuously, I would assume.
Yes, they would be there, Monday through Thursday,
Um,
cause they don't work Fridays.
$100 a month.
I'd say they're used to paying more.
Yeah, I would say that's a little, what's commercial space? I mean, how do we set that, I mean, we don't have to. Take
How
a
big
big
a room
rooms,
you're
but
talking
What do we charge for the fire station?
$50 a use,
Well, it's 75 now.
or 75,
Well, right there, 75 a day.
That's even cheap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but you gotta be fair, I mean, if we charge for the fire station 75, the,
Well, use an example, not Auburn, I can look it up.
That's
but
over like
the
$2,000
Cal
a month.
BDP off the Straw Building, I think it's closer to like $7,000 a month.
but they wouldn't be
Yeah,
using
but
it a
that's-
month, I mean,
no, yeah, they would be using it a month, they would be using it
yeah,
all
they would
month.
use it 4 days a week.
Yeah.
oh, Ivy Tech would be?
No, no, they can't.
Oh.
So I really, like $75 a day, that's like if we charge, but here's the thing, if they need to come in here on a Friday, we shouldn't limit them. So,
You could just say,
No, that's
Whatever
what
you're
they,
paying
that's like
now.
over $2,000.
what they're paying now, Ivy
How
Tech,
much is it, Brett?
It's like, that's like over $2,000 a month, and I'm really thinking like maybe along towards like the $600 range.
they want.
Yeah.
For them.
What space do you have for?
well, they want the biggest room up there, which is the one that, as soon as you go up the stairs, go through the main door, it's there on the left. It's pretty huge.
Oh, Mr. Pickett's class.
So, that room.
So that also
He was my
kind of
sixth grade
changes
teacher.
everything.
So yeah, I guess we need to kind of establish what is a going rate for that type of space, and then.
Well, there's no way they're gonna use the water and stuff for the daycare, did?
No, heck no. And then here's another one that asked, I think he called today or yesterday. I think it was today. Phil Miller called, and he'd like to rent a room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days, and basically in 2 months.
What are they doing, like a conference or something?
Some type of training. But and on the other hand, even though a new business D, then we have Sean that come in today, and she would like to start up a daycare. And I showed her the rooms that were available as of Sean.
Oh, sorry, no, you're good. I was looking down when you said Sean, and
I can't pronounce your last name, so.
Fantasy.
Okay. But she's looking, she was interested in the space of the community center, and would like to discuss it with you guys.
Okay, let's talk one thing at a time here.
Right, but I'm
Let's. So, is State Board of Accounts, are they asking for a long-term commitment?
That's what I'm going to find out when she comes back. I'm just asking questions. Do we wanna do something like this or not?
Well, I wanna see the building be used, for sure, and if we can generate some revenue, but I think we need to generate a fair revenue.
Right.
On the flip side, if daycare is the way to go, now we've lost, of course, you've taken over part of that room, so that's whole nother story, but, to where we could potentially use the entire building or a majority of the building. But that's probably gonna take, are you established, or are you looking
No,
to
I'm
establish?
looking to establish.
Okay. But these requests are immediate requests, right?
Yes, they were very interested.
Are they looking for an annual lease, a monthly lease?
She did not say, she was asking,
Okay,
would we be willing to rent them a room and how much? That was it, that's all she asked. And that Ivy Tech was booting them out because where's they're at.
Should there not be something that we could look at to see what, this type of commercial space, what a going rate per square foot or is, I'm sorry?
That's typically how they charge it.
Right. So then that would establish the rates per room by square foot. So obviously if you have a bigger room, it's a little bit more money than a smaller room.
And I think we could probably give a discount if they want to sign an annual contract, or if they, you know, if they're doing a daily, we have a daily rate and then a monthly rate. If they're just doing month to month, I think that'd probably be a little bit more than an annual contract.
So how do we find those rates? How do we set the rates and not cut ourselves short?
That's pretty easy, Michael, just, let me get with, well, we can either get with Isaac or it's not Anton anymore, Anton has stepped down, none of the decal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're looking, but Colin Weiss is doing it right now. When we get with Colin, I got a meeting Thursday down there anyway, and we'll see what commercial space.
Don, do you have anything else?
I just say you could ask them, well, send us a proposal and with your standard lease agreement with the proposal, and we'll consider it. I don't know how much space they need, or they talk about.
Just one room, that's all we wanted.
And like if we're looking at Auburn, like Auburn's space is gonna be more than one.
No, absolutely,
something.
but
And it's the state board of accounts, so maybe if we're nice to them, they'll be nice to us. So.
yeah, but we're not gonna subsidize
Right, I know.
our space. Now, I think that's a great short term. Now, the one request is asking for November, so we need to come to a resolution pretty quick if he's gonna utilize that room for, so we have a current.
We can put him in any room for this, for just, these are the only days that he needs.
Right, so for that, that's what I'm saying, for that, that's a little more of a urgent matter.
Right.
We need a decision tonight. Or
See, I'm thinking a day-to-day thing, I think 75 is fair.
Yeah, I think they, I
And
think
do we have that already established, or do we need a motion for that?
You need a motion for that.
Okay.
I feel like we have it established somewhere, I just don't know
The
where.
fire department, I make a motion that the fee for a 1 day price would be $75.
I second that.
Motion to rent. Okay. And Bob, you
I'll
made
make
the
a
motion?
I made the motion.
Okay. And then Brett, second, okay. Okay.
Okay. And then as far as the state board council, let's work on that. Let's work on coming up with a established rate per square foot for a long-term lease.
Like I said, I was just asking questions.
Oh, that's how we find out, we don't know.
They just found $10 to $15 a square foot is rough.
That's an angle.
Per
Yeah.
month, $10 to $15 per square foot.
So the old law office is 511 North Wayne Street. The angle was $14 per square foot per year. Angola shops in this is across from Timbers, 12 to 15. That's a brand new facility, 12 to 15 per square foot per year. Country Fair Plaza, 15 per square foot per year.
That seems like pretty good going rate there, $15 a square foot.
And Auburn's a little bit higher, Auburn's anywhere between 13 and 25. So I think if we stay in that
15.
8 to 10 range, I think that's pretty fair.
How big is that room?
I'd have to look.
I still think 15's fair.
It's bigger than this, isn't it, Bob?
Yes.
I just said it too, it said this area is between 6 and 13 right now. For this area.
Like
It's very
26
small.
students in that classroom.
Okay,
Good
let's
I'll get the square footage and then I'll send out an email to everybody and that way you guys know.
You need a motion to charge? You make a motion to charge $15 a square foot?
I think that's high.
Do you wanna do 75 or do you wanna do 15 per square foot?
No, the 15 is for long term, the 75 is for short term.
Okay, sorry.
I'll second 15. I think that's fine.
We trump you.
That's fine, that's why there's 3 of us.
I love you, kid.
I don't think you're gonna get anybody in there, but.
I think you will.
We might. We can reevaluate if we don't. Okay.
We can do that?
Okay, so moving on now, we've kind of established that,
We gotta vote on the 15.
okay, all right, 15, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, 2-1. Oh. Okay, moving on.
Probably ought to see how close you are to your number you come up with, and the size of that. What's this?
It can always be changed by a simple motion, so.
I'm just thinking of
Let's-
square footage of an office, and I just ran some numbers in my head. And
Well, this is about 24 by 30.
Probably close to that.
I was looking at her, I figured she'd look at that.
You're including all utilities too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that's
Yeah.
what I'm, it's not that
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, where before
Plus
we
you have
had,
bathroom facilities and everything else.
so moving on, I would love to hear your proposal for what you're considering for the daycare, since you're on the agenda.
Okay, so I'm new into this, but I have worked in the school systems for 15 to 20 years as a para from preschool all the way up. I was just actually working at Agape. I'm not the Montessori person. That's why I left, because I believe letting kids be kids, but I also believe that they need the education too, and that's what our kids are lacking, even in the school systems now. So I want to do a daycare where, yes, the kids can have kids or be kids, but also that they get the education that they need. So at, 2 and 3 years old, we can start teaching them their colors. At 3 and 4, even at 3, starting with their letters. 4, start working with their alphabet, and of course 5, their alphabet, and keep going. So that way our kids aren't struggling so much in the school systems. I have worked as far as para in the regular classrooms. I've worked with IED, or in the SPED classrooms, and I've worked in the ED classrooms. So I worked with behaviors and all different types of kids. I'm in the process of getting my special education degree. However, I am going to back up and go and get my CDA instead, so that way I can start at the early intervention. But yeah, I love to work with kids, and our kids are just struggling so bad in the school systems that it needs to start somewhere. And I see that, the parents are always working, because this world, as we see it, it takes 2 parents. We have a lot of single parents, and so somebody has to step up and help these kids. And the poverty level is horrible too.
Okay, so that's a great point, because that's the one thing that I'm, as I've had some discussions with daycare, running a daycare in our communities with our income level can be very difficult to stay sustainable. So do you have a plan? Do you have, have you started like a business plan? Have you started trying to come up with how you're gonna combat that, and you have some funding?
Yes, I have talked to my church. I went to Independent Gospel ever since I've been little. It used to be over at the White Church, Pastor Sam.
Yep, I remember.
I talked to him. He told me to talk to you guys to see what all I needed and what all his part would entail, as far as what the church would have to do. Because I did talk to Jim and ask him if the daycare area was still available, and he said something about getting a church sponsor. So that part I wasn't aware of, what the sponsorship.
Depends on the level of the license but that typically has been what we've seen, right? Is that with the church sponsorship, it's a different. I don't understand it all, but
yeah. So I've been doing my research.
Okay.
Like I said, I went to school for accounting too, so I do have some accounting background. But I have talked to some other people that have wanted to start daycares in their homes. So I've kind of got a little bit of background on that too. But yeah, Ashley I grew up in Ashley. I grew up on Lincoln Street. So I'm familiar with the town, and I'm not want to charge, I'm not looking to charge these people an outrage. My grandson, who was just in here, which is Jim's grandson too, my daughter is paying $200 a week over at Agape. And I was working there and helping her pay it because it's ridiculous. So yeah, the daycare centers they charge a fortune, and my daughter can't pay it, and I don't wanna see other parents have to pay that much. Yes, I understand it takes a lot to run a daycare, but if you can get out there and even as a daycare center and hopefully get, my workers to even do some fundraising, or even if parents wanna get involved and do some fundraising, get sponsorships and stuff. That's what I would wanna.
I think before that's what they lacked. They didn't do any fundraising. I think Agape did, but I don't think the Lighthouse done any fundraising. Because I know Heather and I had talked to her at least one time about doing some things here and getting some revenue for them. It didn't come through because I know like the Jam Center, they cannot function without all of their grants that they get. Right.
So that would. Grants available too, Brett.
Yes.
There's not a EDP or DeKalb, Steuben, or Region 3A meeting that they don't attend, that they don't have someone in there discussing the state grants and stuff that are available for this.
And they have a early childhood coalition just for DeKalb County, and they have somebody hired, and she specifically is working on actively getting childcare in DeKalb County. So that could be something. She may have some extra grants that may be available too once you guys are approved. I'm all for it, and I've always been all for it, but like whatever we can do to try to get somebody here and sustain something good, I think is the best thing to do.
I agree. I think there's a lot of implications in this building that we're gonna have to really work through, and if this is serious, like we're really gonna have to get through. Like, for instance, the gym. The gym is an extremely expensive room to maintain, and we can't allow the taxpayers of Ashley to subsidize this type of, to a point.
Right.
Not to a point. So we're gonna have to make sure, number one, that you've got a good plan that's sustainable before we come in, and the last thing we want to do is start and stop.
Right.
So I guess I'd encourage you to keep working on your initial plans. I'm not saying that the building's not available, but like when you're ready, then we really would have to look at. There's going to be a serious commitment involved from your side of it.
Oh yeah. Like I'm looking at my own cleaners to go and make sure that everything is cleaned with ours are on our end. So whether that's going in and cleaning up the gym, if that's what you're talking about.
The gym, I'm worried about damage. The floor the floor is not a surface that is designed to have children playing toys on.
Gotcha.
It's for tennis shoes. Typically at gymnasium, you're not even supposed to wear your street shoes on a floor, right? And that floor is seen, and it's more expensive to repair than what we as a town really can spend to continue to. So we just have to protect what we have.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of the big issues that I had with the previous daycare is that they were extremely hard on that floor, and probably harder than what. It's just a surface that. Anyways, it's all stuff that we can talk about. I'm open to talk about.
Okay.
I think you're early in your plans, and I think if you can come with a good plan, I think we can talk about it.
Okay.
Talk about the space. That sounds fair?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Anything else for us? For now. Go ahead.
One last thing. I've been asked by the Indiana High School Basketball Historical Society to take photographs of your gymnasium and forward to them without copyright restriction, and I need your authority to do that.
I'm okay with it. There's a lot of basketball games played there, and there's a lot of basketball games played up there in the fire hall.
You'd be surprised how few gymnasiums like Ashley still exist in Indiana.
one of the few full-size basketball courts left in the area.
I went to
I
school
played
here.
JA ball up here.
TAA?
JA.
Yeah.
Played that back in the 70s.
Okay.
That was the start of what turned into, that was just kids from Ashland, that was the start of what turned into the DCBL down
Yep.
there. And
Bud Grog was my coach.
sorry.
Is that right?
Sorry.
Okay, if we can move on. Don, there's some questions about the S&S property bids for demo. There was a mistake in the posting, so we had 2 different dates. We had the 14th bids and the 28th.
The
We had the
28th
same
was
day.
today because what happened was the KPC couldn't guarantee me that they could publish it,
Okay,
the last publication at least 10 days before the 14th,
okay,
or today.
okay,
So I switched it to the 28th and put it to the 28th to guarantee that
okay,
our notice was good. They
Oh.
just wouldn't guarantee it. So
okay, fair enough. And we, as of today, we have not received bids yet anyways, but I've gotten a few requests for a bid package. What are they requesting?
These
What do
are-
they want for us?
Well, that's the notice has all the information. There's no bid package in the sense that they don't have to submit a formal bid. It's a request for proposal.
Okay.
They submit their proposal. And if you give me the names and addresses, I'll be happy to communicate with them. And I'll tell them what they're required to do and what they're submitting. And it's pretty loose and open.
Okay.
Let them set the parameters.
Okay.
The only thing that they're not gonna set is, I mean, if there's hazardous materials, it's gonna have to be.
Okay, and there's been also a lot of questions, and it wasn't really in our posting that we did, is that the environmental portion of the project is being handled through POSI grant, and we're just looking at just the building, so I've got a couple of people interested in that.
You know, the buildings and the pumps there still, or?
Yeah, but all of that, all of the pumps, the canopy, all the concrete, and the underground storage tanks are gonna be done by that POSI grant program, so we're just looking.
I
We're
didn't
just looking at solely the building.
Just the building?
Just solely the building.
I didn't clarify that very well.
Right, and I've had a couple requests, and there's one guy that lives just outside of town here, that is a GC, and he's actually been working on the Auburn Hotel project, and so he's very interested in.
Give me names and addresses and I'll communicate with them.
Okay.
Clear that up, so.
Okay. And then the one lady asked for a asbestos report, or asbestos analysis. She said we should have done that first.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
If they get into it and they find asbestos, they're supposed, usually, this is the way I've done it before, they've contacted you and say we need increased funding for any additional.
And
because if you require them to do that up front, well, you can do it that way.
Right.
But it's gonna, if
Costs a
there's
lot.
none there, it's gonna cost you money.
yes, absolutely.
It's,
So, and that's kind of what I think it was, okay, well anyways, I'll see what I have there for, that information, but definitely the one guy, I think I've clarified for him that it's the building only. And I believe we'll have to double check with the POSI program, make sure that we are okay to take the building down before the tanks come out, but that's what this
well,
seems.
it's in there, because they can submit alternate proposals.
Right.
So,
But the town of Ashley doesn't wanna pay for we've got the grant money for the rest of it, so, which
Well, they
we
can-
should be hearing.
when they get their RFP, their proposal, you can break it down and.
Yeah.
Usually you get 2 or 3, 4 line item what they're gonna do and.
Okay.
You can accept some, reject some.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, I should have clarified that more in the proposal.
So, fair enough. The joint meeting we need to talk about before we go into the.
When are you available?
2028.
I don't believe that I have anything.
I don't really have anything the rest of this week, but we need 2 business days to.
I got moved, so really, yeah, the only thing, no, I don't have anything in the evenings, so I am available any day between now and the 31st.
And you're talking about like 6 o'clock?
You probably want 6:15, right, so you can get here, unless
If
it's a Friday.
If it's Monday through Thursday, yeah, 6:15. If it's on a Friday, we can do it at 4, 5, 6, whatever.
I can't do next Friday. I'll be out of town.
I'd rather stay away from Fridays. I mean, Fridays are okay.
That's fine. Monday through Thursday, as long as it's 6:15, I'm good.
This Friday.
That's if I have to be here. I mean, if I don't have to be here, that's fine. You can do it earlier or
Seems
whatever.
like there's something on this Friday.
You cannot do anything this Friday.
It's our anniversary, sorry.
Hey, you can't do nothing on Friday, Mike.
Better place to go to your anniversary than an executive
I
meeting.
can do a lot.
Anyway, so I'm available. It really makes no difference for me. I will be flexible to make this work.
Well, it's Tuesday, we're looking at next week, basically.
Yeah, really, for the notice, so.
Okay.
So whatever works for you,
Well, I'll make it work.
we're gonna need you. I think we're gonna need you.
Yeah,
So.
if we could do like a Monday or a Wednesday next week, that would be perfect.
Okay.
But if that doesn't work, then I'll make something else shy.
Just let me know.
Open to the public.
You got something? No. Well, I already told you Anton has stepped down, and you approved this, so you might as well somebody come and find out what we're gonna do. On October 23rd, 10:30 in the morning, Gregory Post Holdings is having a groundbreaking.
No, they're not.
They changed it.
moved it.
They changed it again?
Yeah, 29th.
It's the 29th now.
No, it's the 29th.
Yeah, it was the 23rd. I
Yep.
think.
Right.
The 29th at noon now.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, I took a vacation day on the 23rd, and I'll still take a vacation day, but anyways.
Get to cancel it now, yeah. On the 30th at noon?
The 29th,
29th.
Wednesday the 29th at noon. Everybody that was on the plan commission was invited to that from that one email, so that, unfortunately, that's how we figured that out. Ian from JSCI had sent that email out.
Yeah, so I got it from Colin. I'll have to give him a hard time.
But yes, the 29th, groundbreaking at noon.
I have it on my calendar.
Anton's effectively gone already.
Correct.
He's gone already.
He is.
Where did he go? SDI, didn't
You went to FCI?
No,
You know?
it's construction.
Oh, he went to Fetters.
Correct.
Fetters, that's right.
Peggy, were we supposed to adopt the EDC contract?
Already
There was
did.
an email about that. Did we do that already? Sure, I just remembered, I seen a contract about that.
I can't remember.
We can do it on the 28th if we have to. But I think we're pretty much done here, but unless somebody else has something from the.
You could probably do it at the next council meeting, whenever you have to.
Opt out from
But we already did all that.
It's for next year, it's for next year.
Yeah.
Isaac sent that to you
Oh,
on
that's too
Tuesday,
bad.
October 14th. That was today at 9 o'clock.
And probably not. I did not
Asking
get it
about
because I've been,
the 2026 amount of $3,050.
Okay.
And then the appointment of Mike as
Yeah,
the,
do 28.
okay.
I will, do the 28th.
We're still working on Hudson. They decided they don't wanna do anything, so.
Hopefully we can all come to an agreement.
Okay, anything else from the floor?
Oh, I thought that was you starting to say something.
No, I'm just
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
We lost Bob.